What's the most unexpected thing you discovered after someone's death? I found out my husband had been secretly supporting another family for 18 years after he died in a car accident. David and I had what I thought was a perfect marriage pair, 22 years, 2 children in college, a beautiful home in the suburbs, and enough savings for comfortable retirement plans. He was a financial advisor who traveled frequently for work, sometimes gone 10 to 12 Daltonses a month. I never questioned it because his income provided us with everything we needed. The morning police officers appeared at my door with news of the accident on Highway 16. My world collapsed. David had apparently fallen asleep at the wheel, driving home from a client meeting 3 hours away. The funeral was a blur of tears and condolences, with colleagues I'd never met sharing stories of his generosity and integrity. 2 weeks after the funeral, I was sorting through his office when I found a locked drawer in his desk. The key was hidden behind a family photo, Parnas at Disney World, when the kids were small. Inside was a stack of birthday cards signed Love Daddy and David's handwriting, cards I'd never seen, for birthdays our children never had. The most recent was dated just 3 weeks earlier for someone named Lily on her 18th birthday. My hands trembling, I dug deeper and found bank statements showing monthly transfers of $2,800 to an account I didn't recognize, dating back 19 years. There were school tuition receipts, medical bills, and photos. So many photos, parenter of a young woman who had David's smile and my husband's arm around her shoulders. In one picture, she wore a graduation cap while David beamed beside her. The date stamp showed it was taken during a week he'd told me he was at a financial conference in Phoenix. I called our family lawyer, who reluctantly confirmed what I'd discovered. David had another daughter from a brief relationship before we met. Instead of telling me he'd chosen to lead a compartmentalized life, parent, husband, and father in one city, secret supporter, and weekend dad in another. He was planning to tell you after Lily started college this fall, the lawyer explained. He didn't want to disrupt her family life while the kids were growing up. I felt like I was drowning, not just from the betrayal, but from the realization that the man I shared my life with for over 2 decades had maintained such a profound secret. Every business trip now came into question. Every late night, every missed family event. 3 days later, I received a letter from a woman named Catherine. She expressed condolences for our shared loss and explained that she never asked David to marry her or be a full-time father, only to acknowledge and support their daughter. Lily always understood she couldn't call him on holidays or birthdays when he was with your family, she wrote. She never complained about being the secret child. She was just grateful for the weekends he could give her. Enclosed was a photo of Lily as a newborn, with David holding her, looking terrified and young. On the back, in his handwriting, the day everything changed. I had a choice to make. I could bury this secret with my husband, protecting our children from the knowledge that their father had led a double life, or I could acknowledge this young woman who had lost her father to parent, a father who had clearly loved her, even if in shadows. Last weekend, I drove 3 hours to meet Lily at a coffee shop halfway between our homes. She has his eyes, his laugh, and a gentleness I recognized immediately. We talked for 4 hours, parent, about David, about grief, about the strange reality of discovering you were connected to someone you never knew existed. I never wanted to hurt your family, she said, tears streaming down her face. But he was my dad too, the only one I had. I reached across the table and took her hand. I know, I said, and I think it's time you met your brother and sister. And my children were shocked, then angry, then curious. Next month, we're all meeting for dinner, parent, the complete family. David never had the courage to bring together himself. People say grief reveals who someone truly was. In David's case, death revealed he was more complicated than I ever knew, capable of both deep love and profound deception, of both responsibility and cowardice. I am still sorting through what that means for the life we shared. But one thing has become clear. Sometimes the family you thought was complete has missing pieces you never knew to look for.